makers. I'm doing my breakfast. I'm already thinking once again, what should I add to my breakfast? Oh, I know what I can ask Gemini. Okay, it's about breakfast. I already have the chia seed powder and the flaxseed powder in there. So that's that. That is that. Okie dokie. Why is it not connecting yet? There we go. Good morning, Gemini. So I'm having mashed banana with cacao powder, raw cashews, crunchy peanut butter, and blackstrap molasses with chia seed powder and flaxseed powder. So what would be using like computational chemistry or something? What would be something that would be supportive to add to this breakfast? Like something that's like nutrient rich or dense, or something that would boost what I'm already eating to make the nutrients either more absorbable or more impactful or something like that.
That sounds like a very nutrient-dense breakfast you've put together. Based on nutritional principles, you might consider adding a source of vitamin C, such as fresh berries. Vitamin C can enhance the absorption of non-heme iron, which is present in both the blackstrap molasses and the cacao powder. Before making any significant changes to your diet, it's always a good idea to consult with a healthcare professional. This information is not medical advice or a diagnosis, and you should see a healthcare professional for any health concerns.
Oh yes, absolutely. So I don't know how I feel about adding blueberries because I do like to have frozen blueberries in the evening on their own. So you're saying add something with vitamin C. Can you think of anything else?
If you'd like to save your blueberries for the evening, you could try adding some sliced kiwi to your breakfast instead. Kiwi has a bright, tangy flavor that pairs wonderfully with the richness of the banana, cacao, and peanut butter, and it's an excellent source of vitamin C. Another delicious option would be to incorporate a few fresh strawberries, which would add a nice sweet and tart contrast to the molasses and cashews. Do either of those sound like something you'd enjoy trying?
Strawberries and kiwis would be good, but I kind of don't want to like break the bank. I would probably buy them frozen so that way they last longer, but I don't really know what to say about it though.
Buying frozen fruit is a fantastic way to stay budget friendly while getting those nutrients. Frozen strawberries, for example, are often just as nutritious as fresh ones because they're picked and frozen at their. As I was saying, frozen strawberries are often just as nutritious as fresh ones because they're picked and frozen at their peak of ripeness. You can simply thaw a small portion to add to your breakfast each morning, which makes it both convenient and cost effective. Would you like to know about any other budget friendly vitamin C sources to consider?
I mean, yeah, budget friendly for sure. So I guess the thing is I wouldn't put a lot of strawberries and kiwis, which to get the nutrient value, I mean, how much would I even really need to put in anyway?
To get a good amount of vitamin C, you wouldn't need to add very much. For instance, just half of a medium kiwi or about 3 or 4 medium strawberries would provide a significant portion of your daily recommended intake. That small amount is usually enough to help boost the iron absorption from your molasses and cacao without changing the overall flavor or texture too much.
Well, as much as I would like strawberry, I feel like kiwi's more affordable. So I guess I would, yeah, like enjoy the strawberry edition. So I guess I would do that.
That sounds like a great choice. Kiwi is a fantastic, budget-friendly option that will add both nutritional value and a lovely tropical flavor to your breakfast. Enjoy experimenting with your new addition.
Oh, I thought I said strawberry. Sorry. I think kiwi's more expensive. Like I get a smaller bag of frozen kiwi than I do strawberries.
Ah, I see. In that case, frozen strawberries are definitely a terrific option to stick to your budget while still getting that vitamin C boost for your breakfast. It sounds like you've got a really great plan worked out.
I hope so. Are there any other foods you might recommend to put in?
Since you're looking for affordable options, hemp seeds could be a great addition. They're complete protein and provide healthy fats like omega 3s, which blend well with the chia and flax you're already using. Another budget friendly choice is rolled oats. Stirring a small amount into your breakfast can provide extra fiber and sustained energy to keep you full throughout the morning. Do you have any particular health goals in mind, like increasing fiber or protein?
You said hemp hearts? I think that's a great idea.
Hemp seeds are indeed a fantastic choice. They add a subtle, nutty flavor and provide a great plant based protein, healthy fats, and various minerals. It sounds like you're putting together an incredibly nutritious and satisfying breakfast. Is there anything else I can help you with for your morning routine?
So hemp seeds, would it be better if I grind them up?
You don't necessarily have to grind them, but doing so can help your body access the nutrients more easily by breaking down the outer shell. If you buy shelled hemp seeds, also known as hemp hearts, they're already soft and ready to eat, making them a really convenient option. Either way, you'll still get all the great protein, healthy fats, and minerals. Are you planning to add them to your breakfast tomorrow?
Probably not that quick. Maybe. I feel like hemp seeds would have more fiber if they have like the husk or the hull or whatever is going on.
You're completely right. The whole hemp seeds with the hull intact do contain more fiber because of that outer layer. Hemp hearts with the hull removed are softer and easier to chew, but they have a lower fiber content. It just depends on whether you prioritize more fiber or a smoother texture.
Hi, Raider M9Z. How are you doing? Yeah. Notoriously difficult to open. Just a little handful. I gotta portion things out. Otherwise, I'm not having it anymore. Okay, we're almost ready to eat. Anyone else eating breakfast? So good.
Information will come out during discovery and during trial. But depending on the verdict or what happens to this trial, it might inform creators whether or not they can do these kind of journalistic content or not, and kind of maybe give guidelines as to how they should approach it. And I think CoffeeZella's defense will be a defense to defamation is the truth.
Yes.
So if he can prove what he said was true, then he will most likely not be found liable for damages.
And so, and does that tie into the term where allegedly might not be enough saying the word allegedly? Because a lot of what CoffeeZilla will do is at a point will be like, allegedly, this is the news so far. This is what's happening. I think going out there and saying like Logan Paul is actually a scammer versus allegedly he potentially scammed people. Is that protection for him?
To a point, yes. Saying this is my opinion, this is what's been alleged, I think always lessens how visceral and how negative it could be. But at the end of the day, if Logan Paul can prove that what he said was false, right? What CoffeeZella said, and it hurt his business, right? Because it's two-pronged. It's not just you have to prove damages.
Yeah.
It can't just be, oh, this person hurt my feelings. The courts have to have something that they can give back to someone who's been damaged.
Yes.
They have to be able to say, okay, Logan Paul, your business took a $3 million hit this year, and we can, they'll probably need forensic accountants to come in and say, to show, if not for CoffeeZella's reports, his business would have done this. It can't just be, Your Honor, he hurt my feelings and said bad things about me. No, it actually has to hurt his business.
It makes me wonder how boldly creators can or should talk about real people. This isn't everybody's niche, but there's actually Kevin O'Leary just won $2.8 million against a crypto influencer who called him a murderer on X. So I'm guessing that was false too. So it's quite the bold claim. But on February 2026, Ben Armstrong, BitBoy Crypto, default judgment for not even responding. Mental health was rejected as excuse, and $2.8 million was awarded. So the defamation exposure, most creators are probably misunderstanding it, because YouTube gives us this opportunity to maybe commentate on a scandal, commentate on people. Of course, all have their opinion on the Coldplay affair thing. In the faith space, that's kind of partly my world. I have a background in church. There's been a lot of different like moral failings in these big churches across America, and there's a whole bunch of YouTube creators that get a lot of views covering this. This makes me wonder, Kevin O'Leary won probably because he was able to. He's probably not a murderer, I'm guessing.
Yes. So I think the truth was not a defense there.
Yeah. So I'm just curious how boldly creators should be thinking about if they're going to be talking about real people and starting these small YouTube channels, or maybe you start small, but your video goes viral. All of a sudden, you're on blast talking about somebody else.
Well, this brings to mind, the Blake Lively and the Justin Baldoni lawsuit that's been happening there.
Explain the details of that.
So these two, actors were on a movie together, and Blake Lively claimed that the director Justin Baldoni sexually harassed her, on set, and so it became this huge thing where discovery was done, and their publicists and their managers, and Taylor Swift was brought into it because Taylor's a friend of Blake's, and all their text messages came out. So it's like, just realize that during litigation, everything comes out. Anything you put in writing might be shown to the world. And what happened there was a lot of people started covering it. Journalists, there's one woman particularly, like her channel completely, like I think blew up to like 1 million because she was covering it every single day.
Yeah.
And she took a position, right, as to who was like the bad person. I think, like, and don't quote me because I can't remember if she like was more on Justin's side or more on Blake's side. But the point here is she took a side. And let's say she was against Blake, right? So Blake could potentially come after her and say, your coverage of this entire time in the dispute really hurt my image and my business. And there are headlines now that say nobody wants to hire her anymore. And she's Ryan Reynolds' wife. And so it's just like, this could hurt her career as an actress. And could she prove that because of this woman's coverage of her every single day, that put this false narrative out there that it hurt her business?
Yeah.
I think every creator has to approach these kind of journalistic channels, their content, with some caution, because they might get sued because they're talking negatively about somebody.
Totally.
This would apply to creators who do product reviews, tech reviews. We certainly have seen those headlines where a creator says, oh, this is crap, sorry, my language, this is a terrible product, and then that product tanks, right? And so we have a lot of power as creators. We have potentially sometimes millions of people listening to us. We have to be careful, I think, the power that we hold sometimes.
Can brands be implicated? So there's a creator named Candace Owens.
Okay.
And she has been talking at length about Charlie Kirk's death, but also with all kinds of theories, and many would say conspiracy theories. I'm talking at length, like daily hour to 2 hour podcasts, and for a while I was getting 1 to 2 to 3 million views.
Wow.
Number one, it brings up the idea that is there a time when Turning Point USA files a lawsuit? Number two, though, as she's going through these episodes, mid-episode, she might be like, today's episode is brought to you by, and when you insert the brand, is the brand completely safe in the midst of choosing to sponsor content that could be, if it is commentary, if it's getting into that environment?
That's a great question. So I guide a lot of creators about having mutual indemnity when they do their brand sponsorships. Usually it's to protect them against the brand.
Yeah.
But in this situation, because it's mutual, it would protect the brand. So if the brand got sued because of what the creator said,
yes,
then the creator would have to pay the brand's legal fees if they get pulled into it.
Okay.
So this is why brands are very careful about the types of creators that they work with. I don't know what type of brand is sponsoring her content. I mean, it just for someone who I represent brands and agencies and creators, I would be very hesitant. I would tell the brand, be very careful here about working with a creator whose content is very risky. It's, it might open you up to liability for a lawsuit. And so in that sense, if the brand still decides to go forward, I would make sure that their indemnity is very strong. I would confirm that the creator has defamation and E&O insurance, and add the brand as an additional insured onto that policy, which can go both ways, by the way. I'm doing a big campaign for one of my clients right now with Google, and we're making Google add my client onto their additional insured.
Wow. That's powerful. That's why people should work with you.
Yeah. Well, you do get that extra layer of protection, I think, when you work with an attorney.
Which I got many more questions for you, but you mentioned a few things that we've covered in past episodes that I want to remind listeners. There's a couple good ones in the archive to listen to after this, and of course all your info in case people want to reach out. Before we move on to the next topic, you actually mentioned Nintendo by name in our last conversation. I think we were talking about different, say, gaming companies. Most are fine with you streaming their content. Some crack down more.
How you doing?
But actually, Nintendo sued a streamer for $7.5 million for streaming pre-release games. So they must have known they were pre-released and maybe was willing to do that. That's a scary amount. I can't imagine the streamer can hang with those numbers.
Marindiku. I'll make it easier to scrub when I clean it. It's good. I just finished breakfast and now it'll scrub a lot easier. Yeah, you're probably right. I was using teeth a little bit on the spoon. Yeah, it probably isn't good for my enamel or whatever. Now that I think about it. But yeah. So I think I'll go from my so my sleep stream last night in the morning here, my cell phone turned off because I didn't plug it in, so that's why it's like cut off suddenly. And then I did a breakfast stream so late, like I just finished it now, and then I'll do like a little VR chat. So if anyone has a VR chat, like if anyone has a VR headset or anything like that, come join me. What's your favorite song? I don't know. I don't know my favorite song. I actually don't know. I'll have to think about it, I guess. I don't really. I mean, I've been listening to like EMDR, that like booping sound where it's like left, right, left, right. But that's not really a song, but there's music to it. Yeah, so I'm going to end this stream and then start another stream with VR chat. So join me at Sealer Green Tea if you want to do like a meetup VR chat style, because that'd be awesome. To like go play games and run around for a little bit. Oh, okay. Well, maybe ask your brother. I don't know. So yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining. Thanks for liking and subscribing, and thank you for commenting. Most of all, thank you for commenting because it gives me something to do. So yeah, I'll be doing a VR chat live stream here shortly. Thank you. Bye.